Yo, so what's up, Mikey? This is a project that I made for the first module, as they call it, the first 3 weeks of Flatiron School. It's got a lot of fucking files, but basically it's all free technologies. This editor is just called Visual Studio Code. It's made by Microsoft, but it's free of charge. It's like kind of written by programmers for programmers and has tons of customization functionality, whatever you could possibly want, which is really cool. The language that I'm writing in here is Ruby. It's just a very easy to read, relatively language that programmers use. And there's a lot of files, but there's basically like a structure to how everything's laid out that kind of basically define things as if they were almost real world objects, and then you define how they work together. So I'm going to actually start the program. Let's see what we got. So welcome to Stay Woke. This is all text-based, by the way. This is essentially one line in a prompt in Mac terminal, or if it was Windows, you would say like DOS. But there's these powerful libraries you can download, which enable you to get these kind of rudimentary menus, which it's obviously transferable to anything you'd want to do in a web page or something to like a graphical interface. But just the fact that you can still accomplish everything in the state of the terminal was what they wanted to show us. So we're going to say, is it your first time waking up? We're going to say, yes, it is. We'll say that our first name is Michael. This stuff isn't really relevant, but it's always shocking to see your actual info. And I have it set up to just ask for an address. So what's really cool is I don't even need to put all of your information. I'm just going to put 1218 Lodi, Los Angeles. It's going to check it. So it's actually going to Google, and it found a valid address. In other words, it found 3 politicians, which was the criteria I set. And it's going to start downloading information from the FEC it's called, about them. Successfully downloaded a little bit of data. So now we're just going to create a password. Got some cute little hearts on the screen. That was my partner. And so now we have like our main menu that, again, I designed. So this is all just text. This is actually not graphics. I can't click on it in any way. But there's just like this little header that kind of shows you you're logged in. It's got the current date, the current time, which is really dope. Show you settings, which is the least impressive first, but just to really show it's like a real program. Can view our settings. Michael Stevens, you've been woke since today. Cool thing is it has your full address there, even though I only typed in 1218 Lodi, Los Angeles. You do live 90038. You're in California's 28th Congressional District, which is in California. And just because I've already downloaded some information from up here in the Bay, I already had some information in here about our mutual senators. But I didn't have any for your representative because you are in a different district than I am. So you have 3,800 that have been downloaded so far that you can access. So we will go back to the main menu. Information for my district, which in this case is Michael Stevens' district. And we have, these are your 3 representatives at the federal level. Dianne Feinstein, Kamala Harris, and then Adam Schiff is your local person. So let's find out about Adam Schiff. There's his Twitter handle right there. It's not enabled to tweet at him, but that's something that I was saying I can now do now that Twitter gave me access to that functionality. It turns out that our representatives have to form committees. You obviously don't actually give money right to them. So some candidates have more than one, so that's why there's a menu here. Schiff for Congress. And we find out, yep, that's his principal campaign committee. It's called Schiff Leads PAC, Political Action Committee. It's been active since the year 2000 to 2020, and there are 76,000 donations from individuals in this time. It was set to start at just downloading 300, just to kind of give you a preview of what it was, and if you wanted to dig more into that person, you could download more. It does a little simple math for you that's 0.4% of 76,000. So we'll view donations for that committee. And it's saying that the information that we're looking at is for the 300 records that we've downloaded. Of those 300, 172 of those donors are unique. And it averages out to $43 per donor. So again, that's just based on the information we've downloaded so far. There are actually ways to download totals outright. This is just like where I took the program so far. Part of the beauty of programming in this style, which is called object-oriented programming, is that you build things in a very abstract way, so that it's almost like a Sudoku. The more thoroughly you kind of fill out the framework and start solving problems, it becomes very easy to solve other problems. So let's view a donation from that 300 at random. This is stuff the government just has out there. So Patty Dean Wolford from Van Nuys, lives on Bianca Avenue, an accountant at Pure Balance, donated $25 to Adam Schiff. That donation was reported on March 31st, 2020. I don't have exactly when she donated, but that's when Adam Schiff's committee, and we can kind of just go through here. And so like something like that's curious. It's like, wow, why did a professor at Johns Hopkins donate to Adam Schiff $20, a $5 donation from someone in Michigan? So just having access to all this, there would be ways to draw other insights. There's ways that, once I learned those skills, I could integrate it with an actual Google map. Imagine like a heat map where you could see where a donation's coming from. The hardest part was just even having access to this data, which was kind of the proof for this project and why I want to keep pushing it forward. And then download more records. Even though this is a text-based single-line prompt, there was this functionality where you could have this little rudimentary slider. So we have 300 records. Let's say we want 900 more. It's literally contacting the federal government, my program is, through functionality they have set up to use in any way you want. It's downloading these records about individual people, and it's saving it to our database, and now we have it on our computer forever, or we could delete it. So now we're up to 1,200 records of the 76,000 there was total. See our numbers shifted a little bit, and yeah, this works for any address, for any, I've already downloaded 2,300 for Kamala Harris, but it's just super powerful. And to think that this was something I could make in just 2 weeks with a lot of work and to be blessed with a very good brain. But yeah, delete that account. Account deleted. Don't feed the hand that bites you. You don't want them knowing how woke you are.